Are you gonna watch the new one that's gonna come out in July?
It looks janky, man.
What's gonna come out?
He gets fucking.
Oh yeah, that's what they were criticizing about
But the guy who did it, he's a clone of Superman.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's because
shit.
The comic books, they're like Homelander.
Yeah, of course.
Homelander and that guy that's in the black suit, they're clones of each other.
Oh, the Nor, yeah.
Yeah, they're Nor.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to watch it.
What the heck?
Because they got new characters in there.
Oh, no shit.
But Superman's getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
So they cloned him.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what the comic book goes, and then the Homelander. Yeah. But Superman ends up killing all of them anyways. Because he gets mad at the end, and then that's when
he's like fuck fuckers, yeah. I watched that movie Sinners yesterday. It's good, man.
Have you been watching? I watched the series called Dark Winds. Dark Winds. It's a Native American show with Navajo.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
Talk about witchcraft. Talk about fucking what they do to our people.
Yeah.
Like this lady had a baby, and then they scrambled her inside so she can have no more kids, and they do that a lot to our Native Americans.
I think I heard about that though.
Yeah, and that's everybody knows about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they fuck with their shit, but they don't have no more babies no more.
Yeah.
The doctors do that.
Doctors
shit.
do that. And
when they do that C-section though, they do some shit though.
Which one?
Hold on, I got it. Try to do it without hitting that button.
Gotta get it right.
Like right there.
Well, they're all gonna stay on the button. So
that fucking record button right there. Alright, I just hit record now. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Do you guys want this weight right here to balance it, or you guys are good right there?
That'll be alright.
Yeah. So it won't. I could just put it right here. This to be strong enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it won't tip over. You know, 'cause it's not windy right now. You know. It's not. All right.
We've been going for about 2 minutes there.
There you go.
All right, Shalom. We the real Hebrew Israelites come out to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom. America, which is called the daughter of Babylon in the Bible. They teach you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you are the Lord's chosen people on this side. 12 tribes of Israel, all praise and glory. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Camp for teaching us the truth of the Bible. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered around the world. Shalom. I'm the brother Ambawan.
Brother Kawak.
Brother Barkop.
And today we want to speak about the 10 virgins in the Bible and speak about the parable. And first I want to read this in the AI overview. It says the parable of the 10 virgins is a story Yahushua told to illustrate the importance of being prepared for his second coming. It's found in Matthew 25 and 1. If you can get that. And it says, and it depicts 10 virgins waiting for a bridegroom, 5 wise and 5 foolish. The wise virgins brought extra oil for the lamps, while the foolish virgins did not. When the bridegroom delayed, the foolish virgins ran out of oil and couldn't get more from the wise virgins. When he finally arrived, only the prepared virgins were allowed into the wedding feast. So we could get Matthew 25 and 1.
This is Matthew 25 and 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
So it said the kingdom of heaven is going to be like 10 virgins. And 10 virgins, it represents the Israelites. You know, the whole nation of Israel, because we're known like virgins. You know, in the beginning, we were like virgins because the Lord, he made us a holy people. You know, holy is like a virgin, you know. And if brother could get Numbers 15 and 38.
If I can see this, Madonna made a song about like a virgin, and it goes kiss for the very first time, and I don't know if you brothers remember your first kiss, but yeah, it was fucking amazing, right? It was the best feeling ever. So just imagine when Yahweh Shai comes back. And Madonna makes some pretty sick songs. She made one that came out in Deadpool. When you say my name, we call on Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
So basically everybody in a roundabout way is talking about Yahweh Shai one day. Everything's about Yahweh Shai.
Yeah. So he's talking about virgins. What makes us a virgin is the law, statutes, and commandments. And read that.
15 and 30.
Yeah.
There's Numbers 15 and 38. It says, speaking to the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the border of their garments throughout their generations. And that's why we got them right now, throughout the generations, because we are these people here.
That's what we're wearing right now, is the garments.
Yeah.
With the fringes.
Yeah, because this is something the Israelites we would do though, and we're not saying how do you want? I want to like promoting to wear fringes like IUIC says, promoting fringes all the time, this and that, because we know that the spirit though that fringes can't save you, But we do this when we come out here because this is part of us though, wearing the fringes though,
It's just to remember.
Yep.
And the more,
Read the next verse.
and you have to remember, that's the most important part. Remember, like the fringes do. And it's a good thing to remember because you look down at it and where back in the day. And actually, this is for priests.
Yeah.
So now you got to know, remember, and know. These are for priests, so we're priests. And when people ask you, what's that? Well, you got the topic right there.
Yep. That's the topic.
You got the fringes as a topic, and you're the priest.
This is a garment of mourning.
Yeah. Sackcloth.
Yeah.
Sackcloth mourning.
So you got three things.
Yeah, because even with Issachar, they always, they like to wear the ponchos, and they like to dress up like Zooters because it's something that back in the day we will wear, But the thing is, though, it's like with this, like we know we're Israelites, though. So it's like I said, Issachar is in the spirit of wearing ponchos, and I mean we even wear what you want to say ponchos, though, because they got it's like a garment, though. But the thing is, though, they do it because their fathers and our grandfathers would rock them though back in the day,
And you know who else does it? Esau. But Esau does it, and he's not embarrassed.
Oh yeah.
He should be embarrassed.
Yeah, because I ain't free for him.
Because if, let's say, an Edomite came up and he tried to rock these fringes, but something was off about him, you wouldn't say that we're all together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You would be like, oh, something's off with that guy.
Yeah.
So the fringes let you know about the people. Look at Yahweh Shai's got the fringes.
It says all the way to his feet.
All with his feet, on all his garments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't know, you brother seen that video? It said dope fiend wearing fringes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't seen that, but it was like some dope fiend. He was just all fucked up, but the dude was wearing fringes though. Like, what the fuck is that? So Esau is trying to connect them with them. Like, no, that ain't us though, man. So that's what I said though. Like, fringes can't save you though, and like I said, like because if that was the case though, there was no reason for Yahweh Shai to come though, because it's like if you're gonna do something, you gotta look down to your fringe and be like, oh, I can't do that, and you're going based by the law though now,
Yeah.
So
it's important too.
It's important too. But Yahweh Shai, he's the one that came circumcising the heart though for the people, the elect though, better yet.
And that's a good thing you said, circumcising the heart too, because when you wear the garments, you're basically circumcising yourself away from the world. So you're that little piece of pee-pee, and the pee-pee is the world, or let's see, the foreskin is the world, and your pee-pee is you, right? You want to chop that foreskin off spiritually, because you don't want to be like that. And then you put this on and you say, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, it goes to show. Yeah.
Right? Like Malcolm X, that movie, when they called him by his slave name, he said, my name is Malcolm. Call me Malcolm X.
Oh, even what's his Muhammad Ali, right? He got mad with the other boxers because he kept calling him Cassius Clay. He's like, no, man. And then when he was fighting them, what was he telling them? What's my name? Yeah. When he was boxing them. You know? Yeah.
Muhammad, Ali. Yeah.
Jacob. I want me to keep reading that.
Yeah. Next verse.
I'll finish right here. Because it says, and they that put on upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. So that's why we got this blue.
Yeah, that's why my fringes are blue.
And 39, right? 39 it says, and it shall be unto you for a fringe that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Most High, and do them, that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring. Yeah, there you go.
That's why we wear these fringes when we prophesy, to remember the law, statutes, and commandments. Because once you go away from the law, statutes, and commandments, you're not a virgin anymore. Now you're a whore. Just like America's called the whore because they don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
Spiritual fornication.
With the ass.
So keep going.
40 it says, that ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy into your power.
Yeah, so by like not celebrating these holidays, it's like you're making yourself a virgin.
And you can't be excited about Christmas and then go to your mom's house and where's my gift?
That spirit.
I got you guys gifts.
That spirit on you.
That's why worshiping these false gods, and it's like you go a whoring. You go whoring after these false gods, and Yahweh Shema Shai is jealous. And he don't want a whore,
Well, who wants a whore?
Unless you're looking for a
He wants a
whore.
virgin.
And think about that. Let's say, okay, I'm going to use me for example. That way everybody can fucking focus on me. Let's say I haven't had any relations for a couple of months. Well, now I'm going to look for a prostitute. For whatever the reason. But if I'm looking for a prostitute, my mind is set on finding that prostitute. And I'm ignoring everything else. And I'm willing to accept that she's been with thousands of men. I'm willing to accept that she's fucking been all over the place and she's not worthy.
She's not a wife.
Yeah.
She's a prostitute.
So all these Christians, they're not grooms. They're not bridegrooms. They're not virgins. They're over there hitting the tambourine, jumping up and down. That one guy?
Have demons on them and shit. Saying that's the Holy Spirit on them.
Shit. Well, the Holy Spirit is something powerful, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, the understanding, though,
You ain't gonna be dancing when you get the Holy Spirit.
Because you can, what's the understanding, though,
You get moments of clarity.
There it is. Yeah.
Samson was like, when he got the Holy Spirit, the last thing he said was, give me the Holy Spirit one more time, so I can make it up to you.
Yeah. And people thought that when they cut his, he lost power. No, it wasn't even. It was based on faith.
With the Father.
Yeah, it was the faith though. Because it was that. That story is beautiful because it goes. It goes back to like he had faith though. The power was never in the hair though.
He was always after whores.
Yeah.
Philistine woman.
Yeah, because he was dealing with them though.
None of them were virgins.
Yeah. Because it wasn't the Judah, right? Didn't Judah went to the place to get himself a harlot?
Yeah. And then he ended up getting Tamara.
Yeah.
One of his sons'
wife.
It's fucking. You see what happens? It's fucking degenerate.
Yeah.
So Yahweh that doesn't want none of us here to go into a Catholic church, Jehovah's Witness, synagogue, none of that shit.
Yeah, because then when those churches they worship white Jesus, though, It doesn't say, the first commandment doesn't say not to go out idols. That white Jesus, though, man, that's a fucking idol. And then our people are breaking that commandment, man.
Yeah.
So that's why they get judged, Other reasons too, but I mean, they get judged, man. They worship the sweet Jesus, though, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're worshiping an idol and you're breaking the commandment, though,
Because that is a picture of Caesar Borgia. And he was foul. He was a homosexual.
It's like, yeah.
The lover painted it.
Yeah, the one that painted it. Yeah.
Whatever. His boyfriend.
Yeah. The
side piece.
But that's the thing, bro. So it's like, if who's a known fruitcake? Is it Alton John or something?
Elton John.
So let's say you put Alton John on these paintings and everything, though. And then the people will be like, well, I don't know. Wasn't he G-A-Y? Yeah, I'm sure we worship this guy and put him on our wall. But then it's like, well, you guys are doing it because you got Caesar Borgia.
Yeah. Really.
It's crazy,
and
though, man.
Job 9:24 tells you that, the wicked cover the faces of the judges.
Yeah.
You don't want to listen.
Verse 40.
Yes. Yeah, I believe so. That was I can read it again if you want me to. Number 13 and 40, it says that you may remember and do all my commandments and be holy into your power.
Yeah, so if we remember and do all the commandments, as we are coming back to Yahweh Shai, we remember the commandments. It's like we're being like a reborn virgin, let's say a reborn virgin.
Born again virgin.
Yeah, born again. Because we're coming back to Yahweh Shai. You want to get Jeremiah 18 and 13?
Jeremiah 13 and 18?
18 and 13.
Jeremiah 18 and 13. That's coming right up. Jeremiah 18 and 13. Therefore thus said Yahweh, ask ye now among the heathen, who hath heard such things? The virgin of Israel hath done a very horrible thing.
And it said the virgin of Israel. And it said the virgin of Israel did a very horrible thing. She slept, with another man.
And it's not even, it wasn't specific saying that she slept with another man. It's just a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Whatever it was horrible. And the thing is,
that's the most horrible thing a woman could do. Is to cheat on a man.
Shai Rawar. So it says Shai Rawar, a horrible thing. And gives a bunch of scriptures, but we're gonna get some wonderful and horrible things committed in the land, Jeremiah 5 and 30. So it was horrible, right? It's pretty bad.
That's why
horrible.
It was amongst the heathen. These heathen are the reason why we're whores.
Well, I got it.
They tempt,
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So when the woman wears anything revealing, she's tempting all of them.
Well, for example, I saw the woman that was walking that way. There's green shirt. She got small ass shorts. But the thing is, like, what does she have in man, though?
I didn't even notice the color of her shirt because I was looking at her shorts.
Exactly, see? Yeah, you see, you walking by, though. But the thing is, like you said, though, like, you didn't even know. Yeah, and the thing is,
so fucking everyday thing.
Yeah, it's like already normalized, though.
It's a horrible thing.
She wasn't walking with a man.
Yeah.
What's a man supposed to fucking think?
Exactly, though, because the thing is, like I said, the reason why I saw her is because I'm literally like this, though, and she's walking this way,
Yeah, and it's not your fault that you look better. You have eyes.
Yeah.
What you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And then we got to be circumspect, too. Look around us, too, because, we need
like that girl was with the man and she's looking at me.
Yeah, because we're like, judges out here, and now we see everything.
See things. All right. So I got a piece of Jeremiah 23 and 14. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, and none doth return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah.
That's all these what's his name?
Mario.
He calls him Heckle and Jekyll.
Oh, the Hazard and
Yeah.
Deacon, right? Deacon Hazard?
Yeah, 'cause
Hot
they
sauce.
said the Lake of Fire. You know, the Lake of Fire.
That is not here, huh?
Those
Yeah.
fools are.
They say it's in Basra, but it's a river.
Those motherfuckers.
So it's a lake of fire on the river?
I call those guys and one prophets.
It's
You
the
know,
river of fire.
you want to know why and one prophet? Because when and one came out, everybody was like back in the basket. And I know, remember that?
Yep.
Talk
Back
some
in
people over.
2003 and 2,
That's what
yeah.
these two fucking idiots are doing. They're
Yeah.
making them putting moves on you, and you're focusing on the moves instead of prophecy.
Yeah.
They're just there for entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine if I was like, man, breakdancing and everything. Jesus Christ, see? It's
Yeah.
a gimmick.
Gimmick, though. So
They're there for
getting against us. Yeah.
Because what's his name? He had a big ass sword in his hand.
Oh,
I bet
really?
you,
Yeah.
let's say he does know how to use it.
These King David.
A big
Yeah.
sword, let's say this is 18
He couldn't
inches.
even hold it.
18 inches is the perfect size for a sword.
So isn't that like a dagger size?
Yeah. Well, I'm not ever gonna do that. But if I had a sword 18 inches, boom, boom. If I had a sword 3 feet,
Yeah. They're gonna see you.
they're gonna see it.
Yeah.
If I have a dagger, it's fast.
Well, that's what the Sakaris, right? They have
Yeah.
them daggers, though.
They have that little tiny dagger.
He
Yeah.
couldn't hold it up. He said he couldn't hold it up. You know?
Oh, I bet, in many other ways too. You know, you guys are clowns, man.
Yeah.
The Lake of Fire is right here,
Yeah.
Babylon.
Yeah, because a lake is a body of water. You know?
Yeah, it is a body of water. Though. It's not a fucking river, a current. There's no current of movement though. It's a body, though, like you
It's
said.
a body.
I mean, the waves happens in the lakes though because of course the boats. The boats are when they're on the lake, that's what makes the little waves, though, you know.
'Cause, they said it's in Basra, but when it says Basra, it's speaking of America too, because it says, "Who is he that cometh from Edom?"
Coming from Edom.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Or one of
Guys,
those.
garments from Babylon.
From
Dyed
Basra. There you go.
garments.
From Basra.
In red, and they mentioned red, and they
Why would he be coming from that land over there?
Yeah.
So you're saying, you guys are vocab alone.
And the lake is going to be a big slaughter.
So if there's a lake of fire in Basra, show me the lake.
Exactly. What? Okay.
I want to see that
They tried to
fucking.
break it down on one of their live streams.
I bet they tried and did a good job, and
People believe in
people
power.
believe it, and they got fucking money. You guys ever watched this show called Futurama?
Yeah.
So they have these characters called the scammers. Remember those scammers?
Scammer.
So they came from a different planet, scammed the hell out of everybody, but even the president of the United States, and they ended up with the planet. They ended up with everything because they scammed everybody. So you can only get scammed if you're vain.
Yeah.
And even vanity.
George Bush said it best, fool me once, you know, it's my fault. No, what is it? Fool me once, you know, it's fault. Yeah. And then fool me twice, then shame on me. It's true in reality, you know? I got a piece of it. Hosea 5 and 3. Hosea 5 and 3, it says, I know Ephraim and Israel is not hid from me. For now, O Ephraim, thou committest whoredom, and Israel is defiled. And 4 it says, they will not frame their doings to turn into their power. For the spirit of whoredoms is in the midst of them, and they have not known the Most High. See?
How?
The spirit of whoredoms is in them.
Because they can't look at themselves and say, I did this. Whatever happened because of what I did is my fault.
Accountability.
No fucking woman is ever accountable for any fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the whore is not going to say, you know, it's her
Right
fault.
there. Right there.
Just like,
Yeah, that's what I said.
just like America,
Yeah.
you know?
I have
Oh,
a
we
piece of-
didn't know bad. Oh, we went
Yeah,
to slaughter
yeah.
Gad.
That's-
Took
that's-
away Issachar. He brought the Southern Kingdom over here, worked for free, killing them and all that.
And you're bringing South Africans over here,
You know,
breeding us out. I got a piece over here. Hosea 6 and 10 says you were already in Hosea.
yeah.
I have seen an horrible thing. In the house of Israel there is whoredom of Ephraim. Israel is defiled.
How did they defile? Because they're not virgins anymore.
But believing all kind of crazy shit.
Two, you know, they hear the word, but they don't follow it. You know.
It's too hard for them. I want to party.
yeah, that's Jake though. That's Jake though. It's still everything was going on though, bro, and they're still looking for the weekend to see what's up, man. Ain't no motherfucking Jakes like that, man. To this day, like
You know what the hardest thing is? Working through pain and whatever, through your daily emotionals, just so you can go fucking party.
It's crazy, huh?
Everywhere you do that. I used to do that when I was younger. Yeah, it's fun. Oh, I love drinking and laying down and getting the spins and passing down, waking up dehydrated.
Yeah, drinking sweat or drinking, eating menudo, you know, for the hangover and all that shit.
So you do all those things just for one moment of
one night, huh?
party.
Yeah.
It's not worth the sacrifice. You know.
But this is.
Yep.
The truth is, being a Hebrew Israelite is.
Come on
We're
here.
getting paid. We're getting paid right now.
We're getting paid, and we're getting paid in the shade. Literally. All we got to do is suffer a little bit, and whatever we're suffering is not as bad as it could be. Not as bad as it could be. Trust me.
See all these judgments going on, you know what I mean? And it's like, damn, you know?
Uber driver got shot in the motherfucking face and head.
Oh yeah? Oh shit, I didn't even. I gotta get that what's that called? Notification and things like that, cause Hanford be.
I stay busy on the news, and I'm like, man, I don't even want to mention anything because I think if I mention something, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Pope is gonna be picked, and he's gonna go for homosexuality. But what's going on there? He's saying that you can't get married if you're a man and a man, but he's not saying that you can't be homosexual.
Okay, well, he did say that.
Yeah.
I remember you did say that. Yeah.
And then the other thing is it's getting fucking wild west out here.
It's crazy though. Yeah.
Shit. Wild west.
Get Amos 5 and 2. Like the brother was saying, you know, everything's happening, and you know, we don't even have our land anymore.
You can't go no fucking where.
Yeah,
Where are we gonna hide? You gotta have faith now because that's the only thing that's gonna save you.
Out in the scripture, you gotta be like pilgrims though. So you might be living in, you know, that's why like you might be living in a house though and everything, though, right? But it doesn't mean that you're gonna be there for the next 2 years because so much, you know, Jacob's trouble is literally right here.
Just temporary.
You know, yeah, that's why it says be like pilgrims because it's gonna get so hectic though that you're gonna have to move around. You know, like it's just gonna get bad though. You know.
Yeah.
You know, the people are not going to regard their teams anymore. So, you know, like the movie Purges, though, it's going to be like that where niggas, you know, lawless society. People are just going to do what the hell they're going to want to do.
Yeah, Boston Bar, heavy on that. And he's the one that said that with the women, don't get too involved with them. It's just your turn.
Yeah.
And that's sad truth. Just your turn at that time too.
Yeah.
Not even if she's with you, it's not your turn the whole time she's with you.
Yeah, because she wasn't with you at the time before.
And even if, like right now, you're away from your woman. I don't know. I know my woman ain't thinking about me. I know she does her own fucking thing, and then I tell her stuff, and then she says I didn't do that, and then I remind her again the next day. She still says she didn't, and then I say okay, but that's hard. That's hard to deal with, but it would be harder for me if I was with, let's say, 2 wives like that.
Oh man, that's gonna be a burden up on you. And the scripture says you got to be pillars of rest.
I don't even want one wife.
Yeah, I'm good too. You know, I feel like they're gonna just be a burden though. You know,
they are a burden.
Yeah,
they are a burden.
It's like you only got one problem, but then you want to get 2 problems.
Yeah.
You know.
And
it's like, nah.
If you get a wife, that's gonna be your problem. But she has a whole set of fucking problems that all are your problems.
Yeah. They're gonna bring them to you.
And that's why Yahweh Shimi Hawashai doesn't want no fucking whores.
That's what Paul said, you know, Corinthians 7th chapter, like be like if you don't have a woman though, because they too distracting, they too, you know, this especially the woman nowadays though.
And it's very simple math. Just imagine if you 2 are together and you're smashing, you should call somebody else's name. That's what Yahweh's thinking when you worship him. You used to call on this motherfucker.
Yeah, well, that's what they do. Calling the sweet Jesus Christ.
That's what you used to call him. This mother, let that motherfucker say.
Yeah, exactly.
So you better be like, sorry. And if you break your ankle, thank you.
Yeah.
If you get in an accident, thank you. If you get stabbed, thank you. He's mad.
Yeah, exactly.
He's mad.
Because I believe there's a scripture that talks about how things that you were doing in the past they could affect on you. Like, let's say if you were gangbanging hard and shit, and you were like shooting people and shit, and then the bullet, you know, you're out of that, so a bullet happened to get you on your leg or something, you get to remind you like, damn, I was shooting people back in the day, you know, and fuck, you know, well, at least I'm alive, you know.
Fucking good. Now you can't walk right now.
You can't walk, or you just feel the pain when it gets cold, though, you know. It's just things like that, man, just drives you. So that's why it's like that's what you gotta think about with Paul. Also, Paul, you know, he had that thorn in the flesh, though. We know on the side, we don't know exactly what it was, but it was just like, you know, he suffered though, you know. But you know, he did wrong though before, you know.
Can you imagine that?
You know what I'm saying?
You're riding on a horse, you get knocked off, and that's a technique that the angels in the house are using. Because remember in Genesis when Abraham, when what's his name, the Levite priest, he, I think it was in Judges, which is one of them.
With the Balaam, the one that
Well, it happened several times. It happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, and it happened with the high priest and the wife that he chopped up.
Oh, okay. And Judges
The flash of light that blinded him.
Oh, okay.
So that was a technique they used. They used it 3 times in the Bible.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
That's a technique.
But Paul blinded him though, so that must have been a.
He must have been fucking mad at Paul.
That's what I was saying, because it blinded him though.
Blinded him.
So even imagine too, though, what was his name on that? The one that cured him, right? Yeah, he was like, isn't this guy the one that persecuted the church?
Imagine that.
Yeah.
The first motherfucker you see.
I know this guy don't like me, or he probably
He's scared.
Yeah, like,
oh God.
shit. Yeah, you know. Like, oh shit.
That's your God, Israel, putting you in those fucking positions. You ain't dealing with no soft whitey boy.
Exactly.
No Caesar Borgia.
Exactly, though. Because you could do what the fuck you want with him, though.
You're dealing with the killer of killers.
Accept him, and your life is easy now.
Even though it's not.
It's not, yeah. Want me to get it?
Yeah.
What was it? 5 and 2?
Yeah, Amos 5 and 2.
It was 5 and 2. It says, "The virgin of Israel is fallen. She shall no more rise. She is forsaken upon her land. There is none to raise her up."
So the Israelites are falling. You know, they fell down, and it says that no one shall raise them up. Well, the white man's not going to raise them up. You know, they go to America's not going to raise them up.
They're fucking kicking while you're down, you know? And that's what America does, you know?
And most
Keep while you're down.
Yahweh isn't going to raise you up.
He's going to let Esau do what the fuck he wants with your ass.
Only the elect, you know, are going to be raised up.
Right.
That's right.
The elect, you know, represent the virgins.
Okay.
Now go to Deuteronomy 22 and 22. Because once you go, your wife cheats on you, there's no coming back.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, because the scripture that says it's better to forgive someone that steals from you than someone that commits adultery. Tells you that unbelievable problems, though.
And if it's unforgivable for the Lord, our Lord in power, then it should be unforgivable for you.
Yeah. Deuteronomy 22 and 22, it says, "If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they should both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So thou shalt put away evil from Israel."
Both of them should die.
That's just one. But nowadays you got people, if that happens, they'll save the woman and kill the man.
Yeah. And that's why I don't know, I told you, brothers, that like the women nowadays, they backdoor Jake though, and they don't, and they backdoor, and they have the evidence and all that shit, right? That this woman called this Jake over to so-called, you know, hang out though, but in reality it was another nigga was waiting to kill that Jake, and it's all information on everything, and the woman never gets held accountable for it. And it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's like that woman should have been charged too, because she set him up. You know, premeditating murder right there, man.
Yeah, so you know, if you cheat on the Lord, that's what these 2/3 are. You know,
Cheaters.
They're cheaters.
Cheaters.
So there's no, like that one song, "Make Up to Break Up."
Oh yeah, make up.
There is no make up to break up. You know,
Oh, I got you.
once you break up, you're done.
Yeah.
There is no making up.
Can I get a scripture?
Yeah.
Jeremiah 3:1, it says, they say if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, said the Most High. See? So, you know, that woman's polluted, man.
Oh, that's a good lesson.
Yeah. That woman's polluted, man. Like, why would you want to go back to that?
And science even tells you that the sperm stays inside of a woman.
It goes to the brain, right? It goes to the, it messes with it. Yeah.
Oh, shit, man.
Because even a woman even made a video about that. A woman
So,
did that.
this is disgusting.
It goes into their spirit too.
Yeah.
This demon
Oh,
made a video. I think he was a demon, but he said he had sperm in his eye because he was one of those moles, and it was moving around. It's fucking sickening, but it stays alive.
They are like tadpoles, you know.
They're trying to find life, you know.
And life is in blood because it takes 4 drops of blood to make 1 drop of semen.
Imagine that though.
It's a process. It takes a process to go.
And the wine represents the blood of the Lord. And when we have the Passover, we have wine with his body.
Exactly.
Sacred.
The wine, yeah.
Yeah, I'd hate to be a 2/3 because that's an automatic death sentence.
Yeah, Deuteronomy. Because a 2/3 is going to be burnt up, right? Here in America.
That's right.
Worse way. And look at how they're fucking getting done right now. Getting George Floyd and all fucking Trayvon Martin. We could name a whole bunch of motherfuckers that went through the same exact bullshit. And that's the Lord putting the spirit on those fucking devils to fuck you up.
So you said that, right? So it's like, okay, so those 2/3 are gonna go to Basra and get the punishment over there.
They're gonna get their passport.
Yeah, they're gonna get together, right? And they're gonna fly over there, Basra, and get their judgment over there. But not here though, according to Hazard and well, I mean, they didn't say that, but it's like, in other words,
what are you supposed to gather when somebody breaks down something? You're supposed to gather information for yourself and make your own judgment. But you're telling people that this is the lake of fire, and that's the first thing. That's the most important thing, because this is a lake of fire, and it's going to be burnt up with missiles.
Yep. And I could see that. We could see that happening with all these countries going up. You know, this guy's pissing everyone off, though, man.
Hey, if you don't see that shit, you're already in some other country.
Yeah.
You're already far away from this land.
And the news, they ain't talking about Basra right now. Like, what news are they talking about Basra?
And I'm gonna prophesy this about you 2 clowns right there. You guys are gonna move out of Babylon because you know that it's gonna be the lake of fire, and you're not even gonna make a correction video on that. You know what I mean?
Oh, but we get that. 22, right?
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 22 and 22, it says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lie with the woman and the woman. So thou shalt put away evil from Israel.
So the whore, she has to be killed. You know, the whore has to be burned. Because like America's a whore, she's going to be burned. And you got to put away that evil.
Burn her up. And all her belongings.
They think it's not evil, you know?
Yeah, they think it's not
They portray it, you know, they portray it as, you know, good.
You know, the worst, this is disgusting, but I was working for a delivery company, JJ's Rental. They don't work, they're not in business anymore. I hate that fucking job anyways. I was delivering the furniture, and I went to the morgue to deliver to this, you know, black family, and the dad was a black dude, and he went to work in the black lady state, and one of my friends that I grew up with in in that neighborhood. He was another black dude. Came walking around the corner, walked into that house as soon as the man left. And I said, "Hey, Elliot, don't you know that bitch is married?" And he was like, "Oh man," he was embarrassed, but he wanted to fight me, and I was like, "Hey, I'll chunk him right now. I know you can't fight." So the bottom line is, I yelled at him and I told him, "Don't you know she's married?" And he was trying to like, "Shut up, don't tell me." No, she's married.
Yeah. Also, so it wasn't his first rodeo. He's been there, done that.
That was the plan because he knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah, and they normalized that.
Yeah, and it's normal though, you know.
Don't see wrong in it, like a whore.
Because like I said, I've been around like Jake too and shit. They'll be like, "Bro, but like she wants me though, bro." And I'm telling like, "Bro, like you still, you know, have 2 kids and shit, bro. What's this man though?" Like, "Ah, bro, but she hit me up though." Like, but I'm like, "You think that's alright though, bro? Like, come on too, you know, it has some sense though too." But they be like, they use that as an excuse. Well, I didn't hit her up. She hit me up though, you know. If she wants it, might as well. She gonna get it from somewhere else. Might as well get it from me. And that's how Jake fucking thinks, man.
That's why it's so easy to fucking scam you. Idiot.
Yeah.
Go back to Matthew 25 and 1.
Let me get this precept.
Yeah.
Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. How about Shimi Hawashai does all those things? He's fucking you up. He's fucking you up pretty damn good. 25 and 1.
25.
This is Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
Yeah, so these virgins, you know, all the Israelites, you know, they have a lamp, you know, but it doesn't mean that their lamp is burning, you know, because read Psalms 119.
105.
Yeah.
It says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light into my path.
Yeah, so the word is the lamp, you know, but the oil, that's the truth, you know. You can have a lamp, but in order for it to be burning, you gotta have the oil.
You gotta have the right kind of faith.
The oil represents the faith, the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You know, the lamp, you know, is just the word. You know, any Israelite could hear the word, but do they have the oil?
Yep. Keep it growing though, you know. Because anyone could have, like, say for example, anyone could put on a garment and say I'm an Israelite, but it doesn't mean that they got the word, you know. Anybody though.
Yeah, because when we first heard this, when we first heard the word, that's when we started learning. You know, we started learning about the prophecies. That's when we started getting the oil.
You got it at the perfect time too.
The next verse on Matthew 25.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
So 5 were wise, 5 were foolish. The 5 foolish ones represent the 2/3 because they're foolish not to have the oil.
Oh yeah, faith though, you know.
Yeah, because keep going. It's going to say that they wanted the oil from the wise virgins.
Matthew 25:3, that they were foolish, took their lamps, and took no oil with them.
They took no oil. They had no faith. You know, they weren't prophesying.
Saying other different things though. But that's why, you know, Pastor Zohar, watch what they're gonna say when the MOTB comes out. You know, what is the other Israelite camps gonna say at the MOTB? What are they gonna say now when it comes
They're
out?
gonna say that we didn't warn you.
Yeah, exactly though. So that's when you're gonna be like, oh, or like, you know, Bishop Nathaniel says, well, if you heard me correctly, idiot, you know, gotta do some shit.
Smack the fucking black off his face, homie.
Yeah.
I think I did 3 camps in a row about the MOT. My lesson.
Yeah, you did.
And they were all different, and they're all basically about the
Same thing.
There's so much to talk about.
Exactly.
But if you listen to me, you idiot,
yeah.
I'll do a spinning heel kick on your fucking tonsils, boy, while you're talking.
because it is June and there is microchips right now.
So there you go, boy. And
And also, Ramlam did a video. I was listening on over here about something called an advanced code article that someone sent him though, and he's getting into it though, man. So, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, like, it's June though.
it's already here.
Yeah, it's here.
June, but they don't got the oil.
Until it actually comes though, that's talks about the virgins, right? Wanting the oil. Like, nah, we told you.
They got the synthetic oil.
The little black, not the big one.
I mean, synthetic oil is only good for cars. Alright. Matthew 25 and 4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps.
The wise, that represents the elect, you know, because they know what they have to do, you know, in these last days. They know not to be messing around, you know. They know that this truth, we have to bring it out 100%.
And it's really, look, it's beautiful actually, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. So if you're going to prepare yourself to do something, be smart enough to have all your supplies ready. And then know how to use all your supplies, because like the brother said, the lamp is...
The other versions, they had some oil, but it ran out.
So you know how to use the word.
Faith,
You got to know how to use the word. That's all you have to do. Yeah. So what are you going to do if a finance woman comes up to you and she's got big old tits, small waist, big old ass, and she tells you all the right things, but she's married?
Exactly.
You're going to have a difficult time because your eyes are going to look at that, and then the neurotoxins are going to be flooding your brain, and you're going to make stupid choices.
Yeah.
All because you don't know how to be wise.
You get that one in 1 Samuel?
16, 13.
Yeah.
1 Samuel 16 and 13, it says, Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And then the Spirit of the Most High came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah.
See, so it says Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him. So that's telling you that the oil represents the anointing. You have to be anointed. Just like Yahushua Mashiach. I think Mashiach means anointed, right?
Yeah, anointed. It's a title, it's not a name, but it's a title, but it means, you know, he's the one.
He's anointed,
Anointed,
you know?
yeah.
Just like his elect are anointed too.
And that happens from birth.
Yeah, man. You gotta be literally born the elect though. You can't make yourself the elect though.
And that's why.
And that's scary too, you know?
Let's say, because I know my dad, I love him and everything, but he does things. But I know that Yahweh kept him safe so I could be here. You know, he kept your dad safe so you could be here. He kept your dad safe so you could be here.
Like in the book of Revelation, I don't know what chapter it is. It talks about going into World War I, how they kept those Jakes alive in World War I, so they could, you know, have kids though. I forgot. I think it's 6 or
exactly what happened.
Yeah. So this brother going into like that's what exactly.
And you're not ever gonna understand what's going on. Really, you might even be upset about it.
Yeah.
That's how it works, man. You don't even know.
Because you know, like our father's not in the truth though. They're not on the truth though, but we're in the truth though. You know, so that's just how it works though. You know, like you know, Yahweh Shai had father Joseph. You know, but you know, he's the begotten son though.
And he's greater than his father Joseph.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. His biological father though. You know, so.
You got 1 John 2:20, and this is the last one, the Revelation.
You want me to get that one? 1 John 2:20, it says, But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye knew all things.
Yeah, you have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. So if you're anointed with the oil, you know, that means you have 100% truth.
You have
You know all things.
Yeah, all things. Yeah.
What's the definition for us?
Oh, you know what? I can't.
Can't
Maybe.
You know what? I think it means anointing. I'm not sure, but you know, anointing is this. When you put something on your a little tiny bit of
Oh, okay, yeah,
oil.
something like that, right?
Like a
Yeah,
tiny bit of oil.
Yeah.
So that means that you're anointed.
Anything smeared on ointment, usually prepared by the Hebrews from oil and herbs.
It means, yeah, you're basically anointed.
Yeah, like what King, David, what Samuel did to David.
That's
He
exactly it.
anointed, you know?
See, everything is so beautiful, but it's so easy that you don't want to get it.
But the oil is here though, man. The oil is here.
But it's simple. It's simple.
Yeah.
Let's say,
What is it?
I don't know.
It says something.
Let's say the whole world is Black Ops 6, and we're all playing on. And the function is, you know how to do everything. But you're just playing games. Now 2/3 are just playing games. They're just spawning, respawning, killing, not even fulfilling the missions to get those eggs. You know. I just barely figured out how to turn on the power on the last map. When you know how to do the things, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool. Oh man.